Cool. So this is our podcast, and in our podcast, we're going to talk about movies for the most part. Molly, how do you feel about movies? Do you have any personal connections to movies?
I wouldn't say I have too many personal connections. I've always loved movies. One of my favorite things to do is go to the movie theater. But I don't really have many personal connections besides my brother's girlfriend is a film student, so I talk to her about film sometime, and she's introduced me to some cool kind of like indie films or international films. But that's about as far as I go.
What about you, Brandon?
I actually enjoy the movies a lot. I'm a huge horror buff. I know last weekend my wife and I went to go and see Last Breath. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
A little bit.
It's about the divers or one of the divers. I forget where they were exactly, but I guess a mishap had happened and he was underwater for at least 30 to 40 minutes with no air and survived, which was
Oh
pretty
gosh.
crazy.
Yeah, no, that does not sound like fun.
But yeah, no, I love the movies.
What's your favorite movie?
I also enjoy comedy. I would say my favorite movie of all time would have to be The Hangover.
What about you, Molly?
I think my favorite movie was actually on the list, but it is La La Land. That's one of my favorites.
You're a musical person then?
Not really, strangely. I actually kind of hate musicals, which is so weird, but I can watch that movie like a million times. I love it. But what about you?
I like horror movies.
Mhm.
Um, my fiance does not like horror movies, so I don't watch them very much, but I had a more of a connection to like animated movies. I originally started off as a illustration major, and then I switched over to business and financial risk management, which is a little bit of a change, but I do like all the animations and stuff like that. It inspired me when I was growing up. But
Do you watch
besides
any
that,
Japanese anime?
a little bit, not anything where I can be knowledgeable about it, but
That's
uh,
fair.
just a little bit. So the thing that we were kind of going to go through in this podcast is we found 100 greatest movies list, and we were going to kind of go through them and talk about where we would rank these movies if we think that they should be on the 100 greatest movies list or if we think that it's just overhyped and it's not worth it. So the first one I'm seeing on here that I know about is Captain America Civil War. Do you guys have any thoughts on that movie?
Yeah, I'm a big Marvel girl. I love Marvel movies, most of them, and I actually really loved the Civil War movie. I feel like when it came out, it got like a lot of mixed reviews, but I just loved all the characters that were added into it. And I thought it was really fun, and I'm happy it was on this list.
I feel like as the Marvel movies have gone along, um, some movies have gone in a direction that people have really loved and they've been appealing to a lot of fans. And some people are like, this isn't like the comics. I don't like this
Yeah,
anymore. But
yeah.
Yeah.
for this movie, I feel like it does belong on the list because it is like it's a super high budget. There's a lot of famous actors in it, but there is good acting. There's cool action. There's a lot of stuff to look at. So,
I was gonna say it's a pretty iconic movie because they're all in it.
yeah,
So,
high budget.
oh, for sure.
So, we could go with another Marvel movie on here. There's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Just as a note, I will say Marvel movies, in my personal opinion, have slowly gone off the rails. I feel like they're not as good as they used to be. Like after Endgame, that they kind of fell off.
I agree completely. I was literally talking to my coworker about that yesterday. Like after Endgame, I kind of lost interest. I feel like they introduced a lot of characters that I didn't really know about, and I was like, I'm not really interested in learning their story, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. I have watched I'm sure you guys heard of it, Daredevil, the new Daredevil.
Mm,
It just came out on Disney Plus. I watched the first two episodes. It's amazing, in my opinion.
need to check it out.
I'm not really, I don't subscribe to Disney Plus and watching superhero TV shows. Like I watched WandaVision
Oh,
and
yeah.
a lot of people love that one, but I thought it was like kind of weird. Felt like they were trying to cram a bunch of stuff into it. Um, but what do you guys think of Guardians of the Galaxy?
I think that's another good one.
Yeah.
I love seeing them all work together. You know, you got Groot, Rocket, and the whole crew. And I just love the comedy aspect that they bring. So it's action and comedy, but they really like the characters really play off each other well.
Yeah, I think that's one of like the first Marvel movies where they like really got comedic with it. Like before, like in the movies, there was always like a couple like one-liners or something that were funny, but I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy was like it could be called a comedy movie in my opinion, just because the characters were so funny with how they interacted.
Yeah, for sure.
We gotta find something to argue about here, guys. We're
I
getting
know.
kind of boring agreeing.
I mean, we could do the tier list.
Yeah.
We could, but do you have a tier list on hand? A little
No, I don't.
template? How about let's go with the other side of the coin and look at Batman Begins. You guys like DC?
I have not seen too many. I think the only one I've seen is Dark Knight Rises. So when it comes to that side, I'm not not very knowledgeable.
I like DC. However, that movie, in my opinion, was kind of a letdown. I was looking for more action, and then Robert Pattinson playing Batman. I wasn't expecting that, and I don't think he did a terrible job. But I mean, I just don't think he should be playing Batman.
Stick to Twilight, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I think that one is the first one that we can say is not supposed to be on this list. Have you guys seen Baby Driver?
I have. I love that movie.
It's a
I,
great movie.
I think that one's so good, especially the music. Like I just love the soundtrack on that one.
So one thing
It's been
I'm
a while since I've
seeing,
seen it.
oh, sorry. One thing I'm seeing on this list is a lot of people like this is a controversial one to be on the list because a lot of the cast did not have really the best past.
Hmm.
Do you think that this would make it so it shouldn't be on the list, or do you think that the film can stand for itself?
I think I'm kind of a strong believer in like separating the art from the artist. Like same goes with music. Like there's a lot of like musicians that are just not great people, but they have good songs, that you just can't help but listen to. So I don't think it should be removed from the list because of the actor's past. I just think that we should acknowledge what they've done while enjoying what they can work on and what they have done.
Fair enough.
I
Any
agree.
thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. For example, I'm sure you guys know R. Kelly. Terrible human being, but I will say he was talented with making his music. He influenced a lot of people in the R&B genre. Um, but yeah, same thing with movies. I think there are some great actors, but they may not be great people.
I basically agree with what you guys were saying, so let's find another one. Um, so I don't know if any of you guys are emo girls at heart, but Sweeney Todd. You guys seen that one?
I have. I feel like I watched it way too young, but it's pretty good.
Wait, is that Edward Scissorhands? Is that the one, or is that different?
Edward Scissorhands is like it's the same kind of universe, but
Mm,
this
That's
one
Oh,
a different movie.
Yeah.
I see, I see. Okay, no, I have not seen it.
Okay. Well, my emo girl at heart is gonna say that this one belongs on the list. So let me find another one. More into the kids movie realm. One that's on here is Coco.
I really love Coco. I feel like I don't know, every time I watch it, I cry. It's one of those. Like, you know what's gonna happen, but it still gets me every single time.
I feel like this movie is kind of tainted for me because in high school Spanish, they decided that this was the movie. And so we watched it for like
Yep.
2 weeks because it was only hour-long class periods and we would have to talk about it and everything like that. So this isn't on my list, but it is a very beautiful and heartwarming story. Just it shouldn't be a Spanish lesson.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I'm more than positive my son has. Many
Oh,
times.
yeah.
What do you think is your most replayed movie for your son?
Oh man, so he's currently been watching Wild Robots.
Mm.
I think there's another one. Oh, Dogman. That's another one that he's into.
Can get an I was it was a few years ago, but I had to like babysit some of my cousins and they could not get enough of Ice Age, the third one specifically. And it drove me up the wall. Like I can get down with watching Sid the Sloth, but when it's all day for like a week in a row, I would rather punch him. So,
That's how I feel a lot of the time when these movies are on replay every day. And I'm like, how do you not get tired of this? How can you just sit there and keep watching the same thing?
short attention spans.
But I grew up on Ice Age. I haven't watched the other ones, but the first one. And I thought I still love that movie.
Yeah, I
Still
didn't
a good
even know the third one existed until I had to babysit.
Is that the one with the dinosaurs? Is that the Ice Age it is?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
you secretly love that movie, don't you?
I mean, in my opinion, it might be my favorite Ice Age movie.
Okay, let me find another one. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Never seen that movie.
Never seen that one.
I haven't seen
Mm.
it.
Okay.
I know it was big though. I remember people talking about it, but never saw it.
It was weird because I saw it, but like I don't really remember it. It's one of the kinds of movies that you have to like watch a few times to like understand everything that's going on, which is kind of annoying, but it makes it so it's rewatchable. It's up to how you like to watch movies.
Mhm.
Well, what is it about? Is it just like someone trying to figure out how to get into Hollywood and acting?
I'm looking at the thing to the
Oh,
like
have you not watched it? I'm
synopsis.
sorry. I'm
No, I did
sorry.
watch it. I just
Oh,
watched it
oh,
when it first came out, which was
oh,
like
I see. I see. Okay.
a few years ago. Yeah, it's basically trying to make his way to the big screen and there's like it's kind of horror but also like it's like a horror history, not really. It's like I don't know what I'm trying to say. There's like an uneasy feeling during the movie because like
I
there's
see.
like something going wrong in the background, but it's not like jump scare horror. Let's go to one that you guys have probably seen because 2009 was a bit ago. Avatar. Not
I
the not
love
the arrow
Avatar. I
the
love
blue.
Avatar. I feel like I don't know. I feel like that's just another one that you can rewatch. Maybe not all the time because it's so long. Um, but I always enjoy watching it. I don't watch it a lot, but when it's on, I like it.
Would you say it's a top tier movie for you or just a enjoyable one?
I wouldn't put it in like my top 10, but I enjoy it to an extent.
Have you seen that movie, Brandon?
I've seen the first one, I haven't seen the second one. I know a lot of people have told me that the second one was really good, but again, it's a long movie, so I can't sit through a 3 hour movie. The last time I did that was Harry Potter, and so
I unfortunately went to watch Oppenheimer, and
oh,
I
that's
did
another one.
not
Yeah.
know it was 2 hours and
Yeah.
40 minutes long.
Mhm.
It's not a bad movie, but I was not expecting that.
I heard that one was really good too.
I mean, it's, I feel like with the whole Barbie and Oppenheimer, like
Oh
social
yeah,
media
that's right.
hype, it was just like everyone wanted to be like, I either absolutely love Oppenheimer or I absolutely love Barbie. I feel like that kind of like skewed people's perceptions of it a little bit because like with its runtime, it's a really slow movie. Like there's maybe three major events that happen in the movie, and it's 2 hours and 40 something minutes. And I'm like, I'm not expecting it to be like in your face action, but like
It's
we
like two
really,
hours of just dialogue.
yeah, and weird Albert Einstein. But have you guys seen the Toy Story movies? They're on here.
I feel like that's childhood, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
How could you not love Toy Story?
I feel like a bunch of people in our class were not born at the time that the first one came out. So it's like kind
How
of like,
when did it come out?
I think it was,
Was it in the 90s or like early 2000s?
let me see. It would help if I actually did the first one. 1995.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't here yet.
me either. But
That was a year before I was born. That's crazy.
and the third one came out in 2010. So it's like it can span across multiple
Yeah.
childhoods.
Generations, yeah.
I think the first one and the second one would be on my top tiers because
Mm.
those are like so nostalgic. I didn't like the third one. I had issues with that bear.
Yeah, he was scary. I
He
remember
was.
I was little and I was scared of him.
I didn't like the part where they like were gonna get burned alive.
That was
It's a
dark.
little
Yeah.
dark for a
Yeah.
Disney movie.
Was that the one where they introduced Sporky? Or was
No, that was the one that came after, I
oh,
think.
it came after? Oh, okay, okay.
Before.
I only know that because my son.
Mm.
Oh wait, three was the one with Sporky because they're at the daycare.
It was three?
It looks like it.
I
I
thought it
don't
was
know.
this one. I don't know. I haven't seen them in forever. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not expecting everybody to have
Yeah, after
top
Andy gave
tier
up the
knowledge.
toys, I was like, all right, I guess it's over.
No.
Okay, I need to find a good one. It's just all Marvel.
Oh, I think I saw one on the list. Do you guys like Wally?
Oh yeah, I love Wally.
Wally
Oh,
made me sad.
that one's so good.
It
I
was good.
love that movie.
I
I
think
think
I.
that would be my top 10 for sure.
What do you think your
Yeah,
top one is besides La La Land?
Ooh.
Like animated, I guess. That was the way to phrase it. What's your
Animated?
top animated movie?
Probably Howl's Moving Castle, the Studio Ghibli. I love that movie so much.
I just look at the animations for that kind of stuff, and I'm just like, that's so pretty.
I know, I
I
love
don't have,
it.
I don't want to cry today. How do you guys feel about the Star Wars movies?
I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but my dad and my brother are. So growing up, I had to watch them a lot, but I just don't personally connect with them. I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them. I'm not super into Star Wars. I'd prefer Guardians of the Galaxy, to be honest,
Okay.
in that realm.
Yep. Yep.
So, yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan.
What about, let's think of other major. Well, you mentioned Harry Potter. Do you
Harry
like Harry
Potter.
Potter, or were you just sucked into having to watch Harry Potter?
I was kind of sucked into it initially, but it kind of grew on me. My wife is a huge Harry Potter fan, so every now and again we'll do like a Harry Potter marathon and we'll
Mhm.
rewatch them all. But
I
yeah,
am sorry for you,
you don't like
because
Harry Potter?
no, I cannot stand it.
I don't think
I
I don't find it as good as I used to back because I started watching it when I was really young. So and that's when I started getting into it. I would say I rarely watch them now. I'd say my wife is more into the Harry Potter scene than I am.
I always try and watch the movies, and then I try and do like a movie marathon, and then after the second movie, I'm either asleep, I'm in a completely different room, or I'm just watching something on my phone that's definitely not Harry Potter.
I completely understand.
Here's another long one, Lord of the Rings.
Never seen it.
Never seen it.
Never seen it.
I've seen maybe one or two of them. I, again, just like Star Wars, I'm not super into Lord of the Rings either. I have a lot of friends who are into it, but it wasn't for me.
I've never seen them. I'm just trying to list off the big ones.
Yep.
So, what I'm getting from this is that Star Wars, Harry Potter to some degree, and Lord of the Rings are all overhyped.
I'm
I,
actually a huge Harry Potter girl.
Oh,
So I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
why didn't you speak up?
Well, you guys were just going. I was like, this is a great conversation. I love Harry Potter. I feel like I'm very similar to his wife. I make my boyfriend do a marathon every fall. He's over it for sure. I think you can watch them so much if you're not a fan. After like maybe two times, it's like, all right, what this
Yeah.
is good. We're done. So I get it. I get your sides. I do.
so now that we know you're a Harry Potter fan, which house do you think you would align with?
So actually there's like an official test that you can take, and I got Slytherin, which surprises everyone because I am not like that at all in person. I've just kind of taken it and ran with it. I have like a little Slytherin sweatshirt.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I listen to the test. That's what I go with.
My little sister, she's 14. No, she just turned 15 last week, and she's super into Harry Potter as well. And
Yeah.
she loves Slytherin.
Hmm.
She has a crush on Malfoy.
Oh man. Like, if you're a Harry Potter girl, you definitely had a phase. I think everyone had a crush on the bad boy at one point.
Hey, Robert Pattinson was in that one too.
I know he was my favorite, and then they killed him.
They
Yeah,
killed him
wasn't he
off.
killed in like the second movie or something?
And he was only in one of them, and they
Oh,
killed him
really?
in that one.
It was
Yeah,
the Goblet of Fire.
yeah, messed up, man.
Have you ever gone to Universal to join all your Potterheads?
I have. I went once, and it was really fun, but it was the middle of summer, so it was hot and crowded, and it
Oh,
was it was fun and also a nightmare at the same time.
Were you able to get a personalized wand? I think they do that, right?
I think they sell them. They sell like little magic ones you can like do stuff with around the park. I did get one, but I have no clue where it is. No clue. Definitely spent way too much money on it to not know where it is right now.
hey, it's a memory, and that's what matters, right?
Yeah, yeah.
True.
Well, my favorite, I guess, not so highly loved series is Twilight.
I love Twilight. I love it so much. I watch it all the time.
Brandon, have you been subjected to Twilight?
I have. I can't watch it.
You can't watch it.
No, I tried. I mean, I've seen them. I've seen all of them, but I tried to rewatch them. To me, the acting just isn't there, especially compared to movies
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So it's very difficult for me to watch it again. But I will say, back then when it first came out, I actually did enjoy the Twilight movies.
So
I just can't watch them now.
are you Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Jacob,
Mm, it's a little hot
I gotta
take.
go. I gotta go with the underdog.
Yeah, no, I make my fiance watch Twilight every fall
Mm-hmm.
because it's a fall series.
It
And
is fall and winter.
he, the first time he watched the first movie with me, he was not happy. And then we watched the second movie and he was still not happy. But then he was like, "When are we gonna watch Eclipse?" And I'm like, "We can watch it right now if you want to." So now he's subject to it, even though he regrets it. He's definitely already over it. One and done for him.
Me and my mom love those movies, and my childhood dog, his middle name was Edward. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, yeah.
One movie I noticed on here while I was scrolling is Casino Royale, which is James Bond movie. You guys seen that one?
I don't know if I have. I have seen the James Bond movies. I just don't know if I've seen that one.
That one's my favorite one. So I can
There,
tell you about that one.
there's just so many of them. There's so many of them. Just like Mission Impossible. Like there's just so many of them now. They kind of all, I don't know. They're all
Yeah,
similar.
this is one of the Daniel Craig ones. But if you like, I don't know, casinos, poker, and stuff like that, this is the movie for you. It's action and gambling and blindsiding, and it's my favorite James Bond movie. I wouldn't watch it all the time because it's kind of repetitive at a point, but that's the best James Bond movie in my opinion.
I'll have to check that one out because I occasionally do enjoy gambling. I'll head up, my wife and I will head up to Black Hawk and we'll spend like a day or a weekend there. So yeah, I'll check that movie out.
I'm getting one into Casino Royale. But another one I see on here is Joker.
I think I tried to watch it, but I'm kind of a person who gets like secondhand cringe. So like there's just scenes where he's like talking to himself or yelling at himself, and I just physically could not watch it because I was like, oh my god, like because there's people around. And I think I like literally turned it off. Like I didn't think I could get through it, but I've heard it was great. And maybe I'll try again someday.
I've seen the first one. I thought Joaquin Phoenix did a great job at like the character development of Joker. But I will say it is kind of boring. It is kind of a boring movie, especially like when you think about the Batman series. Like there wasn't a whole lot of action. It was strictly just dialogue and character development. And then I know Joker 2 just came out not too long ago. I didn't watch it at all. I heard it was turned into a musical and that kind of was upsetting for me. So I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna go and see that one.
That one has Lady Gaga in it.
I know, and I do like Lady Gaga. Don't get me wrong, I do. Joker shouldn't be a musical in my opinion, especially in when they're making it cinematic. But
I
yeah.
watched Joker and I was definitely closer to what Mollie's saying. I was not really having fun watching that. And I think we have time for maybe one, maybe two more. One I'm seeing is Zodiac, which is kind of, it's not old, but it's in 2007. Either of you seen that one?
I've not seen Zodiac.
That one's like a murder mystery, which is kind of cool. but it also has Iron Man in it. So if you like Robert Downey Jr., then there you go. Um, these are all older than me. So call me by your name.
I have mixed feelings with that movie. I feel like it's boring, but there's also like so much emotionally happening. I think the cinematography is really beautiful, but the story just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I think I've seen it like twice, but I don't know if I'd watch it again.
I read the book
Mm,
before I saw the movie, before the movie was even coming out, actually. And then I read it again when I knew the movie was coming out. And then I watched the movie. And I feel like just the time period that I was reading slash watching it in was like perfect because it was like summer. There was like good, calm vibes. So I was fine with watching some people do nothing for 2 hours.
yeah.
Um, but I agree with you. It was kind of lackluster and plot moving along.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is one that you haven't seen, Brandon.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it.
Hey, I don't blame people for not really liking romance movies.
Yeah.
It can be a lot sometimes. Let's go for, I guess it tried to have like a romance underplot, but it's definitely not a romance movie. Wolf of Wall Street.
I haven't seen it all the way through, but I've seen so many clips of it on TikTok that I feel like I've basically seen the movie at this point. But I feel like that's another one that's just so popular that I just haven't gotten a chance to watch. But I feel like I'd like it. I don't know.
I feel like that one's just the opposite of something like Call Me by Your Name because they try and cram as much as possible into like a 2 hour time slot. And
Mhm.
it was also with like kind of the subject matter that they were talking about because like you have to go fast when you're in the big business world and drugs and alcohol and partying and all of that. And it was just, it's kind of overstimulating, but at the same time, it's kind of cool.
I've
But
seen I haven't seen it all, but I think I watched the first like 30 or 45 minutes of it. I thought it was okay. I think Leonardo does a great job portraying like someone on Wall Street or someone who isn't on Wall Street and then goes to Wall Street and then you see how his personality starts to change and how like Wall Street influences his decisions. Um, but I will say my wife hates that movie. Rightfully so.
and that movie gave us some good memes and reaction
That is
photos. So,
true.
and that's really all that a movie's good for, right? Any last thoughts from you guys because we're getting close to our time here.
I don't think so. I think I'm kind of surprised we didn't find something to like absolutely disagree on. I think that's kind of funny that we're all just kind of like, yeah.
Except Harry Potter, I'm not getting on your train, man.
Well, that's fair. I forgot about that. No, we'll take that one.
No, I thought this was enjoyable. Um, yeah. I was a little nervous coming into this, I'm not gonna lie, but it worked out. So
Well,
it
I
was nice
mean,
meeting you guys.
it's nice to talk about movies. It brings a lot of people together, and in this case, it brought us together for a 40-ish minute podcast. So, thank you guys for meeting up with me and doing this and dealing with my kind of bad jokes, but we made through it.